ServiceNow jumped up over 10% yesterday. Now it's coming back in a little bit this morning, but ServiceNow is one of the latest software stocks that has absolutely been ripping higher. And in fact, since the buy signal came through on OVTLYR, which was on May 19th, ServiceNow is up over, let's go to that real quick, over 30% higher, over 30% higher. Now, what's driving this is the real question here. Bank of America resumed coverage of ServiceNow with a buy and $130 price target. Well, they hit that this morning. ServiceNow jumps as the AI fears ease. This is the real story for this sector. This whole sector has been beaten up for a while. That's this sector down here, the software stocks. In fact, let's zoom out just a smidge to like the 1 month or even the 3 month or even the year 6 month. Let's do 6 month. Yeah, this sector down here was really taking it on the chin because people were thinking that it was the end of software because AI could just do everything for you. So these stocks got sold off hard. Like ServiceNow, in fact, was down. Geez Louise. How much was it down? Over 63% before it hit the bottom. And this is what you're looking for, right? This is how to buy the dip correctly. You wait for the dip to stop dipping. You use the outlier trend template, the 10/20, price over 50, and then you wait for that confirmation, and especially with the gap over overhead support or overhead resistance. That's what you want to see. So let's take a look. In fact, so ServiceNow is leading a software comeback for these stocks. And I was taking a look at the other stocks in this sector as well, not just ServiceNow, which did get that buy signal on May 19th, but I was looking at the industry itself. Actually, let me take that back. I was looking at the technology sector, and then I zoomed in to the software application sector. And then at the very top was ServiceNow right there. We're going to take a look at a couple other stocks in that sector in just a couple minutes. So this sector is really on fire. This whole area is definitely pushing up a lot. And in fact, if we go to a couple other names in that industry, you've got SAP, which was the second on this list right here. SAP. Let's go to SAP real quick. So SAP got a buy signal on May 21st. Let's take a look at it this morning. What is SAP doing this morning? SAP. Yep, SAP pushing up higher as well. So May 21st was right there. From that buy signal to today, it's only up 10% so far. So this is a great start for SAP. And another one on this list that I wanted to look at was Team. Atlassian, I think is the way you pronounce it. Let's go to, where is Team? Team is right here. Let's go to Team. Just got a buy signal today. So if you're taking a look at anything, you need to first take a look at the tech sector and then drill down into the software application sector and then take a look at these stocks that are coming up. In fact, we're building this into OVTLYR really, really soon. And I'm giving it a cute little nickname called God Mode because you're going to be able to zoom in and see all of this data all at once with all the buy and sell signals. So you'll be able to see what's really popping off. So let's take a look at the S&P 500 this morning. Like, in fact, let me change this back to the 1 day. Where's the money flowing this morning? Money is flowing out of a lot of stocks and into just really this tech sector, right? But even the tech sector, some of these semiconductor stocks are getting hit super hard, where NVIDIA is finally making a comeback. NVIDIA had been beaten up for a long time. Look at this. There's the notes where I made some money a few months back on NVIDIA. By the way, be sure you subscribe. We just hit 50,000 amazing OVTLYR subscribers, just like you. And every one of my trades is placed live on YouTube. Now, you'll see that NVIDIA had been trending down for a while and has finally started to catch a little bit of a bid coming back in this direction. But it does have some overhead resistance right here where these stuck buyers are. So just be aware of that on NVIDIA. But the whole sector is really taking everybody's money. Everybody's selling out and moving into the tech sector, with the exception of these semiconductor stocks over here. The buy signal, taking a look at the market now, the buy signal is still in place on the S&P 500, although the fear and greed is getting less greedy on the index itself. But interestingly, there is absolutely a divergence here, and we're seeing it both in the S&P and in the NASDAQ, that the fear and greed on the asset is going down, where the average fear and greed score underneath the surface of the 500 stocks in the S&P 500 is actually rising a little bit right there. So keep that in mind. Buy signal still in place on the Qs. And market breadth has turned, and this is exactly what you want to see. We have 34.79% of the 9,000 stocks we cover in Outlier have a buy signal this morning. So it is still in a bullish trend, and it looks like all of the sectors, with the exception of staples and energy, have bullish breadth as well, which is what you want to see. Now, taking a look at some sell signals early this morning, what are some things you need to be aware of? Well, Micron got a sell signal right here today, so keep that in mind. If you're in Micron, that huge move up, we had a little buy signal, a little sell signal coming up here. That was a take profit signal and maybe establish a new position signal. But we do have a fresh sell signal right here at the top today. So let's go look at Micron. Let's go look at Micron. Yeah, what a big, beautiful move up that is. Over $1,000 right now on Micron, hitting brand new all-time highs. But looking at this signal, this is a risk to reward situation right here. This is a sell into strength while you can type of situation. And so for me, I'd be looking to take profits if I owned Micron way up here. Palo Alto Networks also got a sell signal. And Palo Alto Networks got super, super, super greedy. 98 out of 100 on the fear and greed score. But again, another signal that came back on April 23rd. Let's go to Palo Alto, PANW. Man, look at that, riding right up into earnings. So going to April 23rd to today was right here. April 23rd to today, it's gone up 67%. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite number one trade setups, which is leading up into earnings. But at this point, you have way more risk ahead of you, way more risk ahead of you. You've got your sell signal. You've maxed out the fear and greed, which if everybody's gotten greedy, what's left for them to do is get fearful. And we're coming into earnings. This would absolutely be the time that I personally, as a professional investor, would be looking to get out of the way on Palo Alto. Next, FTNT got a sell signal today. This is Fortinet. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Fortinet, at least that's the way my Texan accent would tell you, has a sell signal as well after this huge move. On April 22nd, the buy signal came through. FTNT. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. April 22nd, right here, right? How much does it move since then? Jeepers creepers. 60, let's call it 67%. 67%, the stock has gone up in the span of just 40 days with a fresh sell signal at the top. Now, it's not all doom and gloom in the tech sector, because we just talked about earlier that sectors happens to be super strong. And in fact, a handful of these names got fresh buy signals today, like Palantir. Taking a look at Palantir, just got a buy signal today, but it does have some overhead resistance right here. So keep that in mind. It may not be able to push through this for a few days. Now, granted, it could blow through it right now, but inside of Outlier, we've identified these outlier blocks right here. So just be aware of that. I would be a buyer if it got over around 161. That would be a much more interesting place for me to become a buyer at. Let's go to SMCI. SMCI got a buy signal this morning, has been pushing up higher and higher, and that's exactly what you want to see, right? We want to get all the fear out of the way. We want to get the greed coming back in, and that's what we're seeing this morning, is that it's getting more greedy. The sector as well, the tech sector, has more uptrends than downtrends, has bullish crossover on breadth, and it's getting more greedy on average. And you'll see SMCI pushing up on the greed as well. So this is exactly where you want to be. Take a look at SMCI, put that on your radar this morning. How about IonQ, another stock in the tech sector with a buy signal fresh as of Friday? Again, we want to see these rips happen. We want to see the established price movement ahead of time. And this is exactly what we're seeing right here on IonQ. So put that one on your radar as well. We already took a look at the sectors and industries. We already took a look at SAP and Team. I want to take a look at a couple of stocks that are on Wall Street bets this morning. First one I see up here is space, right? I think people are getting this conflated with SpaceX. This is Virgin Galactic. This is not SpaceX. Virgin Galactic up bigly this morning. Where's space? Right here. This is not in the tech sector. This is in the industrials, but it did get a buy signal before the Wall Street bets got a hold of it on May 26th. Let's go look at space, Virgin Galactic, SPCE. Virgin Galactic on a mission to the moon. Now, this is a perfect example of what that overhead resistance looks like. Perfect example of what this overhead resistance looks like. Every time it's come up into this area, it's been monkey hammered back down over and over and over and over. Now, are the buyers going to overwhelm the sellers? Maybe. We'll have to see, right? In fact, this morning, it had a huge wick up and it's pulled back in. Because it's pulled back in, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence. Right? These stay in place until a close above that point, right? Because remember, these are trapped buyers who want to get out at break even. And these guys right here, who have been stuck since October of 2024, are really stoked that they finally had the chance to get out of break even at $7 and let's call it 770 this morning, when that stock was just $2.60 a couple days ago. I can guarantee you there's a lot of overhead resistance, people ready to sell out of space of Virgin Galactic right there. So just be aware. We do have that buy signal before the big move, but you do have a lot of overhead resistance. Let's go to Intel, another stock that is high up on the leaderboard over here. I don't remember where it is right now, but I saw Intel up here. Intel has a sell signal, has had a sell signal for a little while now. In fact, after this buy signal from about $50 to about $130, a huge move right there. It's been drifting sideways. The greed really peaked super high up here and has been getting less and less and less greedy. So there are definitely other opportunities out there where the risk to return is a lot better for you than Intel way up here. And then lastly, one of the ones on Ape Wisdom on Wall Street Bets this morning I wanted to take a look at was HP, another tech stock. I see a real similar theme right now. It's all about tech stocks lately. But HP has a huge red flag for me, and that's the fear and greed score is at 99.14, 99 out of 100. Let's go look at HPE real quick. HPE, big beautiful move, post earnings move it looks like, and that's exactly where you want to be, right? These type of stocks don't happen all that often. So looking at HPE, there's a lot of risk, in my opinion, way up here, more reward than risk, but it does have that buy signal. That buy signal was in place on May 11th. Let's go, or May 11th was right here. Huge move up, running up into earnings. Again, one of my all-time favorite trading plays here, up over 40% during that time. And listen, I want you to take a look at this video right here. Joe and I, we actually went through the whole list on Wall Street Bets, taking a look if we were going to pass, buy, hold, pass, or sell. And I want you to watch that video and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.